everybody, welcome back to Best Life and Beyond. As you'll see, Spencer is not here with me. I don't know which side he'd probably be on this side. He had to actually run some errands and get some stuff done before we leave on our trip to Orlando. So I figured I would do a quick video today to kind of share with you our travel tips, stuff that we pack. We've picked up a couple of things that worked out well for us, especially me being very prone to motion sickness. I also have like severe anxiety when flying. I have my good moments and my bad moments, but I'm gonna kind of share with you stuff that worked for me on the airplane and stuff while we're in the parks and how we deal with heat. Now, I realize that we haven't been there when it's been super humid, but we've still experienced some pretty humid days there. And, heat at the end of the day is something that we're kind of always battling, being in theme parks a lot. So I'm going to kind of share with you our cooling tips and tricks that we use. And then we'll kind of show you like what I'm packing and what I'm bringing, and you make this as entertaining and educational as possible. So first thing I'm going to start off with is stuff that I take on the airplane. We always take our backpacks as our personal item, and then we each take a carry-on, and we normally check one bag if we're staying for about anything under 2 weeks. The last trip that we took was well over a month, and yeah, I think we ended up checking 2 bags. We definitely checked 2 bags on our way back. That being said, we take our personal items, and that's where I'm going to show you some of the stuff that I pack to kind of help me with staying organized and dealing with my motion sickness and stuff like that. So first thing that I do that's a really good tip that I've I did on every trip that we've really gone on is I pack a extra little bag where I keep all of my electronics, all of our headphones, all of our earpods, AirPods, anything like that, any chargers. So we often take the fuel rods just to have them, but then we also have this portable charger. This one has 2 USB ports, so we take those, and we also will take these in the park as well. But we have these 2. Just remember to charge it overnight. These you don't have to remember to charge because you can swap them when you're at the park, which is amazing. And some airports actually have fuel rod exchanges as well. This you can purchase on Amazon. I want to say it was around 20 bucks. It's this many. I don't understand the electronics thing, but this works for me. Lasts all day and sometimes even multiple days, depending how often I use it. So I'll keep that in there. Often the airplanes, sometimes we've now flown 4 times, and sometimes they give you headphones, sometimes they don't, but just in case you can't use your AirPods or anything like that, they don't work on the airplane. I know, but that was a question I had. So I saved 2 of them, and I just have them just in case they don't hand them out for any odd reason. The main thing is you just want to make sure that you have this little device on the end of it, and that's how you can plug it in to work on the airplane. So I have 2 pairs of those, and then I always keep chargers, because sometimes you can actually charge on the airplane, like under the seat there. You can plug these guys in and charge anything if you need to. And yeah, like I said, so I just kind of keep that. It's just really helpful and useful, and I just make sure it's in one of the front pockets. I also don't have it in front of me, but I always keep my wallet in the second pocket, so I know it's just easy to pull in and out, and I always have our plane tickets and everything screenshotted on my phone, so I'm not fumbling around. I keep it in my pocket, and I just pull it out whenever we need it. Another thing that I do is I keep a little bag with our snacks on it. These are actually left over from the last time we were at Epcot, but I get my Werthers, and those always stay on there. These are important because they help kind of like make your ears pop. So I always get like hard candies and stuff like that. You know, so I just always keep my snacks in a little bag, and we just have it. I think I got this from Park MGM, and you know, I've just always used it. These are great little bags to have, and you know, so a good tip that I would recommend. Another thing that I always take on the airplane is one of these sleep masks. This one is from Target, and it's really nice because it's like a cooling like gel thing, but it's not like a soft gel, it's like a firm gel. But anyways, we've both used this. I actually am gonna go and purchase another one so we can both have the same one. And yeah, it's just great to have. I've used it like once or twice, but even if I don't use it on my eyes, I've used it on my forehead just to kind of like, I don't know, kind of for some reason it relaxes me to have something like on my head. I don't know. It's just like a cooling thing. Because I think when you get anxiety, you almost like, I feel kind of like hot and flush. So when I have that like cool gel on my forehead, I'm just kind of, I'm chilled out a little bit. So if that helps you. Another thing that I take on the plane is these stomach settling drops. Now, I haven't experienced nausea due to motion sickness on an airplane, thank God, but that doesn't mean that it can't happen, so I'm prepared for it. But as you'll see, I've opened these. I've actually enjoyed these, I think on every flight we've been on, I've had them. And I don't know if it's because it makes me feel better preventatively, I don't know. But it says in these, again, I got these at Target, it says they have ginger, lemon, spearmint, and vitamin B6. So I don't know, but it works for me. They're great to have. I always have those. I also have my little travel pack with my medications in it. So in there, I'll have Dramamine. I'll have my calming medication in case I ever need it for an emergency. Advil, stuff like that. Spencer often gets a headache when he flies. So I always have that stuff on standby, as well as some just regular earplugs. You know. Then my second kind of odd thing, but I carry things to like draw and color, my planner, my day planner. But the weirdest thing that I found calms me down and distracts me. I can't focus very well on videos or, movies or anything on that airplane sometimes. So I constantly am trying to do that to challenge myself. But I found that if I go to a store, I get these little poppin' cookin' things, and for some reason they distract me for at least a good hour. Even if I don't eat what it is, I just like to do it and create it. The hardest part though is sometimes you have to cut the little pieces of plastic, but that'll actually kind of keep me preoccupied because I use my teeth, and I know this sounds bad, but it's the reality. Or I'll just try and break it, and again, that keeps me preoccupied. For some reason, doing something with my hands and my brain, it just distracts me, and I'm so much less prone to being anxious. So these are a lifesaver. I actually have 3 of those for this next flight. And then when I'm in Epcot over in Japan, at the Japan Pavilion, they sell these. So I'll get some there if I don't use them. Hoping that's everything that I could think of right off the top of my head. Spencer will often bring his laptop, and I'll bring my laptop, but I won't really use it. Spencer will use his and he'll edit, and that keeps him pretty preoccupied. He always turns on classical music and edits. That's 9 times out of 10 what he does, or he'll sleep. I have yet to be able to like really sleep on the airplane. So now I'm gonna kind of cover the stuff that we will take to kind of combat heat that you'll pretty much always find in our backpack, our fanny pack, or in a locker. The first thing is when you are going to Florida, it rains, and it will say it's sunny, but it will rain. It will always, pretty much always rain. If you're not prepared for the rain, you're gonna get rain. So my friend Aslan, she recommended I go on Amazon and I get some little ponchos. I think I got a pack of 30 of them for like 15 bucks. And we just keep them in our little, like, so I know when I'm packing, I always put a few of these in our backpack. I put a few of them in our suitcase, and we always have them. Now, the one thing I want to warn you about with ponchos at Walt Disney World or in Orlando in general is because of the humidity, these can kind of sauna under you. So just be advised that if you're gonna use a poncho, it won't really protect your legs very well. So, you know, those are bound to get wet, or your shoes, but it will kind of keep you a little bit more dry than you would. So just be aware of the sauna effect that it can have, because it's humidity, it's not just wetness like in California here. But speaking of that, I would also recommend bringing flip-flops or waterproof shoes in your backpack. Flip-flops are obviously a little bit easier. Probably invest in some good quality ones, because if it's a longer downpour of rain, it's really nice to have some flip-flops, you know, because then your feet get wet, you know, and if you're going on water rides, you know, it's just better to have. We even brought, so when we went in the winter months when it would kind of rain or get soggy, we just brought our waterproof shoes. If we kind of did that a lot and it was a little bit better. But I would say when it's a little warmer, which towards the end of our last trip, we had a week or two where it was getting pretty toasty and it was very humid. So, you know, we brought our flip-flops, and that is a lifesaver. The second thing I recommend is a reflective umbrella. This has two wonderful purposes. Great for keeping out the sun. It keeps, you know, there's one thing about the humidity and the heat, but the sun is this added layer that I can't tolerate. Even if there's no humidity, whatever it is, the sun in my face is about the worst thing ever. So again, you can get this on Amazon. This was about 20 bucks. One of the best things I've ever had. I use it at Disneyland all the time. I curse myself whenever I forget this. But be advised, if it is in your backpack and you're going through security, you're gonna have to take it out, because this will set off the metal detectors. The next thing that we bring are these portable fans. These are 3 speeds. Again, got them on Amazon. And it's nice because these can go around your neck, but they can also, if you set them on a table while you're eating, they can kind of, and they're rechargeable, so you just plug them in. I think they also are battery operated. I don't know for sure yet, but I don't know if you can hear it, but this sucker is powerful. 3 speeds. Can you feel that? Does it feel good? There you go. So yeah, these are great because you can angle it while it's on your chest, but again, you can like set it while you're eating and keep you cool. But then when you're carrying it, it's nice to just have it flat. So these will definitely be glued to us while we are in Orlando. The next thing that I bring are these cooling towels. These are pretty much standard. Again, you can get them on Amazon. You probably get them at sports. I have a few different ones, different colors. I think we have like purple, turquoise, green. I chose cool shades for a reason. Now another tip that we've done is sea breeze. You can put a little bit of sea breeze. It's kind of, I think it's an astringent possibly, but it just helps keep things a little bit cooler rather than just the cool water or anything like that. We always bring frozen water bottles. Those thermos things tend to be a little heavy. We do have some, so we're gonna kind of experiment and see what works better for us. But for now, we found that just bringing frozen water bottles, great thing. Speaking of packing, this is another thing that we always bring with us. Again, it's not that we bring this to the parks, but this is just what we bring in general. I always bring this little baby, so that way I kind of know when I'm checking my bag, and then oftentimes if I have to check another bag, I just bring this so I kind of know. You just kind of hang it, and I don't think it's exact, honestly. This was, I don't know, $3 at Daiso, but it kind of gives me an idea if I'm getting close to the 50-pound limit, because I think it's after 50 pounds they charge you more, or something like that. Now your carry-on, I believe, doesn't have a weight limit, so you know, that stuff is all available on online. So now I'm just gonna kind of cover the stuff that we will definitely bring to pack. And this is just stuff that we've learned to pack in addition to the stuff I mentioned before, like sandals, ponchos, you know, what do you wear? And the best advice I can give you that was given to me and has really been very helpful is to kind of pack for all seasons, to just be prepared. Now, unless you're going when it's sometime like it's going to be really hot, like summer or dead of spring, if you're there in like the winter, the fall, anything like that, pack for all seasons. Pack for rain, pack for sun, and pack for very, very cold. Now, the thing that I think people don't realize is how cold it can get there. And when we went in December, it's shockingly extremely cold. And why? It's that humidity, is that extra moisture in the air. And it felt so much colder. It's a different kind of cold than it is here in California. So just be advised that, if you're going and it looks like it could get cold for you, it's no joke. Florida doesn't mess around. She's wild. So the other thing is nice loose fitting clothing. That's kind of difficult for me right now because I'm in between sizes while I'm on my weight loss journey. So it's going to be just it's going to be interesting. But I'll still pack some flowy dresses that kind of work for me. Also get some Body Glide for, you don't want your skin rubbing together if you have any areas that are prone to that, like your legs. Stuff like that really helps. And we'll definitely be packing our bathing suits. I like to bring a pool cover up. I'll probably bring about 2 or 3 different bathing suits because we're doing a lot of water parks on this trip, in addition to pools and whatnot. And if one happens to not be dry, I don't want to wait for that whole scenario. I also always include something that I guess could be considered like a nicer top, just in case. This was something that I forgot about when we went and we had a reservation at California Grill. I showed up in a Spirit jersey and flip-flops. So learn from me, always just have one thing. Even if it's a nice shirt, just have a nice shirt. I won't bring any fancy like shoes, anything like wedges or heels. I don't need that. We do walking there, so I won't do that. I often will bring a couple of pairs of, I'll bring 1 pair of pajamas and I'll just use that. And then there's often a washer and dryer where we're staying in our Airbnb, so that works out. And then the resorts that we're at will have them too, because we're staying as DVC. But if not, I would probably bring a couple of pairs and plan for that. And then we're definitely packing shorts. We're going to be bringing our flip-flops, and the best shoes that we recommend for park walking always is going to be the Hoka shoes. They are not cheap. You can order them directly from their website. I've seen them at Nordstrom's and some running stores. For the ladies, I think they actually have them in men's too, but ladies' shoes, the ones that I recommend are and I'm going to butcher how I say this, but I think it's Bondi or Bondi. It's something like that, Bondi 7. And it's in Hoka. That's the style. They are not cute. I'm already going to say it right off the bat. They're not the cutest, but they have saved me from my intense plantar fasciitis that I've had. Spencer has the Challenger ATR, I think is what they're called, in Hokas, and they have saved his feet as well. So those are the walking shoes that we recommend, and we will definitely be wearing those while traveling, and so we won't pack those. The only thing we'll pack is some flip-flops, obviously. So yeah, those are the shoes that we'll definitely take. And then I will pack some ears. I try not to overpack ears because 9 times out of 10, I end up taking them off because I get too hot. When I'm too hot, it just, I have the umbrella, it just doesn't work very well. I tend to just I'm going to bring a couple of pairs, and then 9 times out of 10, I'm going to end up buying some pairs, and I'll probably bring a hat for the pool and maybe even the parks. And yeah, so that's kind of what we generally will bring, give or take a couple of other things, but I try to take as much of my hair products and stuff that I know that I can't go repurchase. I could, but it'd be hard. So I like to bring my purple shampoo and all that. I just pack that on my checked luggage. And I bring my makeup that's not, liquid, I bring that on my carry-on because there's no weight limit there. So that's just how I tend to do it. I don't pack a lot of food, snacks, or anything. We rent a car and we go to the Publix because I love Publix so much. So that's like half the fun for me, and we'll buy snacks and try to bring them to the parks and anywhere we go as well, so we kind of stay on track with our diet. We will splurge a little bit, but not much. So I hope that kind of helps you understand like what we pack, my tips and tricks, as far as, the traveling itself and what we've learned so far going to Florida a few times. We're going to be planning on going there frequently, so I'll keep this updated if I find anything else out that really works for us or doesn't work for us. And, next time Spencer will be here with me. So if you like this video and you found it informative in any way, you can let me know by giving it a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel. And in honor of Spencer, bye-bye, everybody.